Hi, everyone. Hope you're having a good day, good night. I guess it's kind of late by now. Um, I just wanted to come on and talk about how I overcome fear and doubt and worry, indecision about health, about relationships, about money, because I have been seeing more stuff through social media and all of that is designed to keep us in fear, and frankly it just pisses me off. So I wanted to come on and talk about how I navigate some of this stuff, and how I kind of view these things, and look at the carrots that are being dangled, the ones that we create in our own mind, and also the ones that the external world is dangling in front of us, to kind of sway certain decisions that we make. And so that's what I wanted to talk about tonight. So I'm hoping this will help somebody out there, and you're welcome to post questions in the comments section. I'm happy to answer any questions that come up, whether you're here live or here on the replay. Yeah, I'm happy to do that. So there's a lot of stuff. I'll just start talking about the health stuff first, because that's what I saw that really annoyed me. There's a new fear tactic out there about keeping us separated from each other again. It's all about creating more separation between human beings and making us afraid of each other. And it's not where we're headed. We are headed towards unity consciousness, and so I want to bring more of that into our conversations that we're having now, because we are all one, and this is a concept that is so vastly misunderstood. It's really, oh, hey, Tori, nice to see you. Yeah, let me know if you guys are here, if you want to comment, and also let me know where you're watching from and if you have questions or anything. So yeah, the law of one, unity consciousness, is so vastly misunderstood. It's all about, like, people think it's just kumbaya, yeah, we're all one, but there's a big misunderstanding about what that really means. And as I've been on this journey of really diving into the universal laws in a very deep way for 6 months and counting now, through the Mind Shift course that I did, I really came to understand this idea of unity consciousness more deeply. And I may not be great at explaining it all right now, but I will say that it's not just about let's all hold hands and we're one together. It's really about understanding at a deep cellular level how connected we all are, how much we affect each other, and also how we're not separate from each other in any way. And I'm glad, Tori. Yeah, we really do need to talk about this a lot more. And so, all these fear tactics that are out there, they're all designed to keep us separate from each other, to keep us from our true nature, which is to be one together. And, I saw a video yesterday that was just another separation tactic, another thing to fear. And it was about nanotechnology, the nanoparticles from the V's, and how now if you're choosing not to take the V, that you should be afraid of people who do, because their body is spewing off all these nanoparticles that can then infect you with this technology, and that it can cause the same side effects that people who are choosing not to take the V believe that the V causes. And so I'm trying not to take sides here. But I will say that I am choosing not to take the V. But if you choose that for yourself, that's your choice. So in any case, I'm not afraid of people who choose to take it. And, you know, I really believe that it's not that I don't believe there's certain technologies in the V's that are potentially not the greatest thing for the human body or spirit. But it is that I know and I trust that my body can handle whatever's coming its way. And so because I trust that, I'm not afraid of other people. I really can see through so clearly the tactics that are being played on both sides of, you know, be afraid of people who haven't had the V, be afraid of people who have had the V. You know, it's like, we're just supposed to be afraid of each other all the time, you know, don't let anybody breathe on anybody else or touch anybody else. I mean, this has been going on for so long, and it's all bullshit. And, you know, I gotta cry bullshit. I've been, you know, kind of talking about this behind the scenes. I haven't really talked about this publicly. And, you know, I really need to do that because it's my truth and I want to share that. And, you know, it's okay if you don't agree with me, but I'm going to start speaking my truth about it. And it is heartbreaking to me that my neighbor literally runs away from me. She's so terrified of me. She's terrified of me. And, you know, we weren't close or anything before this whole world event started last year, but, you know, she would say hello and things like that. And now she is so scared. She's so scared that she won't even come within 30 feet of me without freaking out. 30 feet. Like there's no like common sense or, you know, like that doesn't even follow the rhetoric that's being sold in the media and from the medical communities and all of that. And it goes to show you like how deep and how out of control the fear can get. And it's really heartbreaking, you know, because I remember being that scared. I do. You know, it's part of the process of waking up. And when I was first coming out of the cult, I was like that. I had these massive irrational fears. You know, I thought that the cult leader could, you know, come and like energetically, you know, come and kill me or something, like crazy stuff that I believed. And, you know, so I wouldn't go to sleep at night and I'd be like, you know, not able to sleep. And it was really irrational. But, you know, I really believed these things so strongly. And, you know, this whole idea that we're separate from each other, that we, you know, should be afraid of each other, you know, separate from nature, that we should be afraid of nature, you know, just all of this stuff, it's not true. It's not true. And I didn't, you know, recover from that experience of being in this irrational fear quickly. It took me quite some time, actually, and lots of different things that I tried. I tried group therapy. I tried 12-step. I tried individual therapy. I did all kinds of I did some energy healing. I did, you know, I changed my diet and cleaned my diet, which helps purify the body and mind. And all of those things helped me to an extent, but then I would hit a wall and I wouldn't be able to get out of the drama that I was constantly creating in my life. And, you know, I talked about this recently. I just did a speaking video that I was invited to speak at the International Cultic Studies Association International Conference this year. It was actually supposed to be last year, but it got canceled and now it's going to be online. So I just did my video for that. And I talked about this a lot in there because, you know, it's, shoot, I forgot lost my train of thought. This whole idea of recovering from fear. So that is, it's a process, it's a process of waking up. And so, when we see people who are full of irrational fear, or if we are actually full of irrational fear, this is a time when we need to be really, really compassionate with one another, really compassionate, because, waking up can be very traumatic for some people. And I think we're seeing a lot of that in the world today. And because the awakening is happening so quickly, for many people who were on a very far away scale from coming into those higher states of consciousness, it can be really traumatic. And so, and there will be people who are going to stay in that fear state and they're going to choose not to come out of it. It is a choice. I've discovered that in my journey. It is a choice, but it's one that is pretty challenging to make on your own. It really helps to have someone guide you through it. And when I was first waking up, I was actually being horrifically abused during the process. And so it made it even more traumatic. And so that's why I say it's so important for us to be really compassionate with each other during this process, and really be mindful of that. If you can't be compassionate, at least don't engage, with trying to force somebody to wake up, or arguing with them, or trying to prove what is right, or anything like that. Because I'll offer to you that if you're doing things like that, you're probably still in your own state of awakening. You're just at a different point in the process. And, we all are. We're all still awakening at different levels. So, and none of us are better than anyone else. And, I think that's one of the things the law of grace has really taught me is, no matter where we are in our journey, we're all the same. We're all together. We're all one. And, no one's better than anyone else. But anyway, I kind of digressed there. So that was just something that was on my mind today. And so part of the process of overcoming fear and making decisions, some pretty difficult decisions, because there's decisions about, are you going to go back to school or back to work, or are you going to travel or go into a certain venue? If they're requiring you to have certain medical procedures that maybe aren't something that you want to do, and these are the carrots that I'm talking about that are being dangled externally to us, is that, we're being told, well, you can have these things again that we took away from you for a whole year. You can have them, but you have to do this, this, and this in order to get them. So you have to be obedient and do what they're requiring you to do to be able to have those things. And if you don't get them. And, here's where I would say the work that I've done in brain game and mind shift, but I want to talk about brain game today, because I'm starting to, I'm entering a program to become a brain game coach. And I'm going to be offering a beta group for people to try it out without paying the full price. So I want to talk about that a little bit so that you guys can kind of get a sense of what it's about. And, one of the things that really helped me is I learned so much about how my own mind works and who I am as a person and what I value, what my real beliefs are, why, letting go of things that actually weren't part of who I am, but I was carrying with me because it was, something that I had accepted as my truth at a younger age, and by younger, it could be at any point in your life before today, right? So many things that, we've actually just collected along the way, and even things from past lives, if you believe in that, And so, by going through this process, it was a 10-week program, and I really learned so much about myself. And I've been through the program 3 times, because after you do it once, you can take it for free. And keep repeating it. And every time I do, I go at a deeper level. It's incredible to me, you know, how transformative it's been, and how, you know, how much more there always is to learn about myself, and really come into greater alignment with the truth of who I am. And this is what the key is, really, to overcoming fear and navigating all these carrots, right? Whether these are things in your mind, like things you believe that, oh, if I do this or this, I'm going to get this. And if I do this, it's going to prevent me from getting this. And, you know, we can do this all in our own head. We don't even need external sources telling us, you know, oh, you know, over here, like, here's the carrot, you know, but even, you know, whether you're doing it to yourself, or if you're, you know, considering what some of the external sources are dangling in front of you, it really doesn't matter. You know, it's really about coming into alignment with the truth of who you are. And honestly, you know, when I started my recovery journey from all the trauma, I didn't even know what my favorite color was. I mean, I really didn't know myself at all. And, you know, I'm still learning so much about myself, and what I really like, and what I value, and what I don't. And, you know, the more that I go deeper into that, and keep going deeper into that, the more I really get to the heart and the truth of who I am. And when I do that, I can overcome anything. I don't have anything to be afraid of, because I am really connected internally with myself and with Source, God, whatever you want to call that power bigger than you. But, you know, understanding who I am has been the key in everything, because how can you really make a decision that's right for you, for your body, for your spirit, for your emotional well-being, when you don't even know what you like or what you want out of life, right? It's pretty hard to do. And so I really think that, you know, this has been the key for me, is really coming into full alignment. And, you know, Brain Game was the first step in doing that. It really, and it continues to, like I said, every time I go through the program, it continues to, you know, develop on a deeper level for me. And really understanding, you know, who I am helps me make all my decisions. And decision making, as I found out recently, is our superpower. So, you know, really, it's so interesting, that whole idea of decision making being our superpower, you know, because we are so programmed to not want to make decisions, to want our decisions to be made for us. When I was in the cult, and this is why I'm so grateful for this cult experience, because it taught me so much about taking things to extremes, right? You know, I didn't, by the time I left, I wasn't making any decisions for myself. I mean, what to eat, what to wear, when to sleep, you know, when to shower, all of those basic things, I was letting the cult leader decide for me. I mean, it sounds completely insane, and it was. And yet he had convinced me that, you know, it was better not to make decisions, and, you know, that I didn't need to be bothered with that, and that, you know, the feminine should always let the masculine make the decisions. That was how the true order of things were. I mean, it was really messed up, but I'm grateful for it, because it really, I needed that extreme to teach me that making decisions is my superpower. And, you know, when I didn't know myself, it was very difficult to make decisions, because I was always afraid of making mistakes. And I still have this come up. It's not like it doesn't ever come up, but it's so much less, and I catch it so much sooner. And then I'm able to move past it really easily. And, you know, and if I hadn't had those experiences, like, that would have been really difficult, and had the advantage of going through the Brain Game. And so, you know, I can't say enough about how much the Brain Game process has done for me. And I know at least one of you who's watching has taken the brain game before and also had an incredible experience with it. And it's just so powerful. I love it because when you go through it, it's really experiential. You do all of the majority of the work is actually in the teaching. It's not, there's homework, but it's not like you are taught something and then you have to go figure out how to apply all of it. Like, you're actually applying it through the process. And so you're not, in a course for 10 weeks and then, okay, great, now I've taken this course and, am I even going to do anything with this or not? Believe me, I have tried all the things. Even the other stuff I listed, but even before I was in the cult, I did so many like self-help books and courses and, all these different things to try and have a happy life. And I couldn't understand why I was always so unhappy and why I was, always having relationship issues and always having money issues. And then I started having health issues and I just couldn't understand. I couldn't understand what was, I felt like I was trying so hard and yet nothing was working. And, and then even after the cult experience and I, after I did all the recovery work through 7 years it's been since I left there. And, it's taken me almost all that time to, get to the brain game work and really have that big shift in how I viewed everything and, my ability to work through forgiveness and, and really embrace and understand who I am and really start to come into an awareness of who I am. And so, yeah, it's been an incredible journey. And, I want to help other people. The first time that I did the brain game, I knew right away. I'm like, I want to be able to use this with my clients. I want to be able to teach this. And so that's why I'm going for the certification as a coach in it right now. So if you're interested in this, if you're tired of being trapped in the fear trap of, what's going on in the world or what's going on in your world, if you're tired of all that, if you're tired of having problems in all these different areas in your life, or maybe it's just one area that you can't figure out, the other two are good, but this one, maybe it's just relationships that's got you baffled, or maybe it's money, or maybe it's health, and the other areas seem fine. And, that's not unusual either. So, if you're experiencing any of that, make a comment here on the video or send me a message and, let me know that, you want to talk about this. So I will talk to you about how we can work together, and you'll be able to take the brain game with me the first time. Starting in May. Well, it is going to be May soon, but it's starting in the second week of May, second or third. I will check on the date. I will let you know. But it will be coming up pretty quickly here, and we can talk about whether or not I feel like this is right for you, if this is a good fit, if you feel like it's right for you. So let's have a chat. There's no cost to doing that. And we'll talk about it and see if this is something that might help you with some of the stuff that you've been going through and that you might be experiencing that you are just tired of. I'm looking for the people who are really sick and tired and they're ready to do the work to get through this and come out the other side, because now I have a life filled like almost entirely with joy, peace, ease, money's flowing, relationships are happening, they're good, they're happy. My health has improved dramatically. So like everything is working in the right direction now for the first time, I can say probably in my entire life. And, so I can't stress enough how powerful this is. And if you're ready to finally make the leap and really make the changes, and you've tried all the other things and nothing's working, I highly recommend this. I do, because it really made a huge difference for me and so many other people I've seen. It just completely changed their lives, their businesses, their relationships, their money flow, and their health. You know, this really moved the needle on my health too. I got stuck there as well. You know, for those of you who know that I did the medical medium journey, and, you know, I'm still doing some of the stuff, but I hit a plateau with that too. And so this is what really helped me move the needle on everything. So let me know if you want to talk about this. I'm open to having, you know, a 15-minute conversation with you, and you know, we'll explore if we're a match for each other. So thank you guys so much for being here tonight. And if you're watching this on the replay and you have questions, please, you know, feel free to post them in the comments, or you can message me directly. And I will do my best to answer them. So, and whether it's about the brain game or anything that I talked about tonight, or maybe something you were hoping I would talk about, I can do another video, or we can chat about that. So thanks again for being here, and have a wonderful night, everyone. Looking forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye.